call me Moira Rose. I have to be counted in. That's my process. Three, two, one. Hello, and welcome to another episode of the New York Sofalites. I am Stephanie, and I am here with two of my two oldest friends, really, Rachel and Gretchen. And there is a lot going on in the world, like a lot, and we have a lot of thoughts on everything that's going on. But we're going to devote our conversation today to what's your favorite horror movie? We're going
What's
to
your
talk
favorite
about our
scary movie?
favorite scary movies.
Yeah. Yay.
Yes.
It's
Because if
spooky
we don't
season.
find some fun and joy in our daily lives, we won't make it through these crazy times. And it is also spooky season.
And what's more joyful? Yes, wine. What's more
Cheers to that.
joyful? What's more
Cheers
joyful
to
than
Cheers.
oh,
Magic Potion.
Oh
nice.
yeah.
I don't have any
May or may
drinks.
not be a G&T.
Well,
Oh,
whatever potion you have in your hand right
in my
now,
heart.
cozy up, and we are
Yeah.
about to talk some spooky movies.
Yes. Yes.
We sure
Um,
are.
so we're going to talk about our favorites. And I was talking to Rachel earlier. It's there are a lot of subgenres in horror movies.
So many. Yeah.
So it's kind of, for me, it's a little hard to pick one because it's like, well, that's my favorite kind of, you know, funny, kitschy one. And that's my favorite, like, serious, scary one. And that's my favorite suspenseful one. But I
Ooh,
think,
okay.
yeah, so I'm trying to kind of narrow it down in my head. But
So wait, can we start with like just to level set? Where are we on like the scary movie meter? Like, are you guys lovers of scary movies? Do you get scared? Are you like, oh my God, it's too scary for me? Like, where do we stand? Gretchen, are you a scary movie lover?
I don't always seek them out. I have to be in a good mood, or like in a right mood, not in a good
Yeah.
mood. Probably a little bit of a good mood. But I, yeah, I'm not a fanatic, but I don't turn them down like blanket wise, if that makes sense. So,
Okay, so like if it's like a movie that seems like it'll be good, if it's a horror
mhm.
movie, you're down to watch it. You're not, they don't
Yeah,
scare you.
yeah, I'm not really into like a lot of gore. That doesn't really interest me. If it's there, I probably will look away because I'm a baby, but that's just the way it is. So, how about you, Rachel? Sorry, a car in the background, I think. People speeding down my road.
Yeah, no, I'm a total scaredy cat.
Hmm.
It has taken me a long time to like kind of like, when you like get into a pool really slowly because it's cold, like that's kind of how I have been with scary movies over the past few years. I've been trying to build up my tolerance because my husband loves scary movies and he really makes me feel very ashamed of myself that as like an adult woman I am so scared to watch
Oh.
scary movies, and every fall it's just like I feel like it's coming at me from all sides, so I've been really working on it. So I've seen a lot of scary movies in the last like maybe 4 or 5 years, and I'm less scared now than I used to be.
Okay.
But I wouldn't say that like I'm a horror fan, although there are scary movies that I do really enjoy. Steph, what about you?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that I'm like obsessed with scary movies or horror movies. I agree with Gretchen. Like, I need to be in the right mood, and I also don't love gore. To me, I don't really like horror movies that have gratuitous like gore. I just find that kind of like, first of all, gross, but kind of just boring. Like, I like a good story, no matter what I'm consuming, whether it's a movie or a book or a podcast or whatever. So I like horror movies that are also like have a good story and are like visually pleasing in a way. So I've always been a big like Tim Burton fan because his aesthetic is just it's so strong. And I also like it. And yeah, I've seen over the years, I think I've seen quite a few scary movies like ever since I was a teenager. It's not like my number one thing to go seek out when I'm gonna watch a movie on a Saturday night or something. But I certainly don't turn them away either, unless it's something that just looks really gory or looks like the story isn't very good. I'm not really interested in that.
Okay, so do you feel this way about like a camp horror movie, something like Evil Dead, that is like the point of it is that it's like very, very like cartoony, gory with like the bright orange blood and like the story is not particularly good?
Well,
Is
I've
that
never
like,
seen that one, but what comes to mind for me is What We Do in the Shadows, which is like super campy, and then there's a lot of gore. That's a comedy horror, but I love it. Like, I love What We Do in the Shadows, both the movie and the TV show, and there is blood in that. Don't get me wrong. Like, that's probably the movie that I can stand the most like gore from, but I like the campiness of it, and I feel like the bloodiness like adds to the story because they're vampires. It's part of telling the story. It's not just gratuitous.
yeah, and it's played for laughs, which is
Yeah.
a whole different thing. They're not like trying
Right.
to scare you or shock you or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's hilarious when they pull it out. So,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm not opposed to gore and blood in all areas of scary movies, but if that's what the movie's like relying on, then not
Okay,
so
so
much.
not like a big Eli Roth fan, probably.
Yeah, not so much.
Okay,
Not
Gretchen,
so
do you have a
much.
favorite horror genre?
So I am extremely intrigued by kind of historical, like Robert Eggers stuff, like historical
Oh,
horror. The one I was gonna mention as probably my favorite or one of my
well,
favorites.
don't spoil
Okay,
it.
okay, is a Robert Eggers one, but
Okay.
the I also just love, you know, it's not really horror comedy in the way that What We Do in the Shadows is, but to me, like The Substance is a horror movie, but it's also really funny. So
Yeah, that's a
I kind
great
of enjoy
one.
it.
Yeah.
I really enjoy that. I
I
was
would say I
also,
also love a horror comedy. Like I loved
yeah,
The
I
Substance.
love a horror comedy. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I think
And
we all
then,
agree on that.
Yeah, even when it's gross. I think my favorite pick is a horror comedy, and
okay,
I
Yeah.
will elaborate on the reasons for that.
okay,
But
yeah,
it's
yeah. So your favorite genre is probably horror comedy, right?
yeah, because I'm such a fraidy cat, and if it's actually scary, I'm scared of it, and I have to
Yeah.
watch it like this.
Yeah. I used to be more like that. I think now I'm just like, oh, cool. Like,
Like
I don't,
I can't fuck with a jump scare. I cannot fuck with a
yeah.
ghost. Like if there is a ghost in the movie, I'm out.
I will say I did start watching this one called I'm the Pretty Thing Who Lives in the House, and it freaked me
Such a
out.
long
It
title.
freaked me out because it was all about a ghost just like whispering and this one like girl like living in the house, and it was
Nope,
and it
nope,
was
nope,
just
nope,
yeah.
nope, nope,
Yeah,
nope.
and it was very beautiful. Like
I
it was
don't think
very
so.
nicely done and like aesthetically beautiful, but it was just like this ghost
What
just
do
like
they call
whispering.
that? Cottage horror? There's
I think it
definitely
was
like a
cottage.
name for
Yeah,
it where
something
like
like
it's
that.
incredibly beautiful, but it is that. It's like a
Yeah,
whispery
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
A
So I will
whispery
say that I
ghost.
can
No,
get freaked
thank
out.
you. I already think I hear my name whispered from time to time. Like, I really don't.
I don't
In
think
your
You guys
house
are
that was
like,
yeah,
built
new
like
build.
5 years ago.
Yeah, your new build house. It could be on a burial ground. We
yes.
don't know. Yeah,
Yes.
Oh.
No,
yeah,
like sometimes like I'll hear my name and I'm just like, and I think it's just like auditory hallucinations when I'm alone. But
I don't
yeah,
know which is worse. Like in that particular instance, I would prefer it to be a ghost.
yeah,
I don't want to have to
yeah.
deal with whatever would be causing an auditory hallucination. I don't have time.
I don't want to deal with this. If a ghost, you
It,
just be like, "Don't talk to me," and it
I
will
do
probably
feel
listen.
like it would take less time to like have my house fully saged than it
Yeah,
would take to deal with whatever would cause an auditory
very
hallucination.
good point. Yes, that's a very good point.
am I
Yeah, you
going
just
crazy, guys? No, I mean,
no.
I
I
I
think
mean,
we
are
all
we
hear that.
all
I
are we
mean,
all
I hear
going
that once
crazy?
in a while too, but it's funny because the people, this is funny, Rachel, because people get Gretchen and Rachel mixed up a lot. Like they'll call me Rachel when I first meet them.
interesting.
And so sometimes when I hear the name Rachel, I will think it's my name. And so I'll turn, but it's not. but that is unrelated.
That's
Anyways,
unrelated.
yeah, Stephanie, what is your favorite subgenre?
My favorite subgenre, I do like horror comedy. What what else? Um I like like suspenseful horror movies too, and like psychological horror movies, although that can be a bit intense for me sometimes.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, psychological horror, comedy horror, yeah, I think those are probably my favorites.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are
Yeah.
you guys, would you say that like a psychological horror would be something like Silence of the Lambs? Is that kind of like how you
Yeah.
I think
are leaning? Or
so.
like
Yeah.
What Lies Beneath? Like where are we?
Oh, What Lies Beneath? I forgot about that one. Yeah, I mean, I think
Yeah.
those do kind of classify as
Rosemary's
horror.
Baby.
Oh,
Yeah, I love
okay.
Rosemary's Baby. I think,
I
yeah, because I was
like
trying
that you're like, it's psychological horror, whereas I would put that squarely in the devil movie camp.
to devil movie. I think,
If the villain is the devil, that's its own genre.
yeah, that's probably true. But I also feel like, where do you draw the
Oh,
line
The
with the devil?
Shining.
Like, where do you
Sorry.
do? Oh yeah, where do you draw the line with the devil? Is
I feel
it
like it's
also
pretty
demons?
explicit.
No,
Yeah,
but it could
demons
also
and the
be
devil. So like The Omen and like The Exorcist and like
okay.
anything where it's like a really like religious devil stuff, I feel like is its own genre.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, because I don't think like I love suspenseful movies that are more like like Hitchcock type movies too, but I don't think those are horror, so it's hard to draw the line
Yeah.
between like
But The Shining
Yeah.
definitely,
Shining is yeah.
it's like the psychological element is really overt. So like
Yeah.
that's
Yeah. And Carrie.
and Car- oh,
Yes,
I like
Carrie's a good
Carrie though.
one. Yeah, I love Carrie. Yeah.
I like
Carrie's great.
a classic horror movie, I guess, where like if the blood is bright orange, usually like it's I can watch it. Although the movie Poltergeist, classic horror movie, will not be watching that.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I've seen that one.
I was trying to remember if I've seen that because I used to always see it at Video King, like the cover.
It's
Um,
really scary.
yeah, I don't know if I've seen that one. I've seen a lot. Like I've seen The Omen. My mom used to rent these older ones. We saw this one called Burnt Offerings, which was crazy.
Ooh.
Do you
I
remember that one,
remember
Sophie?
renting that, but I don't remember what it's
Yeah.
about.
I don't
I've
know, my
never
mom.
heard of
Yeah.
it.
It's like it's just a weird kind of campy 70s, early 80s horror
I do
movie.
like a campy,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like I really thought Evil Dead was very fun.
Will you say like Final Destination is campy?
Yes.
Yeah, because I kind of feel like it is, but then it kind of seems to take itself seriously, so I don't really know where to put it.
I think
I
that
can't
you
watch any
have
Final
to.
Destination stuff.
Final Destination is just kind of silly because you're like, oh, so that's gonna fall on
Silly?
him. Well, because like because it's ridiculous. It's like, oh, the way that people die, it's like the most ridiculous things you've ever seen. It's like, oh, so it's like a what's an Goldberg machine of death? Like it makes no
Yes, it's a
sense.
Rube
Yeah,
Goldberg
yeah,
machine. That's such
yeah,
a good way to
yeah.
describe it.
Yeah, it's
What's a
like
Goldberg machine of
Rube
death?
Goldberg. Rube Goldberg, where like
You
one
know, like the
hits.
game Mousetrap from when you were a kid, you make like a machine that like you put like a marble at the top and then it like rolls down a thing and then it knocks
Yeah,
over
knock
some
something
dominoes
over,
and then it
and then
goes
like
into a
yeah.
tube and like
Oh, okay,
Yeah, and you
okay.
have to like extend, make it do as many things as possible before it reaches its destination. It's
like an OK Go video. Was that the
yeah,
band that did all the Rube Goldberg
so
music videos?
maybe, yeah,
Or the
Rube Goldberg, Stephanie. I mean, we used to look at them a lot, and like we have to like make one in elementary school. Like I'm sure you've
If you saw it, you would know
yeah,
exactly
yeah. But
what the
that's
thing
it's
is.
basically Final Destination. It's just like this glass is gonna fall, and then this person's gonna step on it, and the lawnmower is gonna go up in the air, and then like it's gonna land over here, and you think it's gonna land. It's just so stupid. It's just so silly.
For me, the best part of Final Destination is like you can't like from the beginning of the Rube Goldberg machine, you can't anticipate
Yeah,
what is actually going to cause the death. Like,
yeah,
and they'll mess you up. They'll be like, "Oh, you see like a flying chainsaw, so you assume it's going to be the flying
yeah.
chainsaw, but
Like
it's not, and you
misses
actually are
them.
killed by a spoon."
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but
The
that's what makes it so scary because then you're like, oh, these everyday things. Like it does not those don't work in my mind. Like I'll just play those scenes over and over again and lose my mind. So
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Okay. All
can't watch
right.
any Final Destination stuff.
So we found something that scares Stephanie. For me,
Yes.
it's ghosts. For
Yeah.
Stephanie, it's Rube Goldberg. What
Yeah.
is the thing,
Yes.
Gretchen, that like scares you about a scary movie? And do
Jeez.
you like to be scared, or do you prefer a scary movie that like you don't find scary? Like me.
I honestly, this is gonna sound really stupid, but like the things that scare me the most are the things that are the most real. Like I'm not sure if the right feeling when I'm saying I feel horror, but like when you when I don't know if you've seen Hereditary, but there's this one scene that's
No, I
the
haven't
big
seen.
scene.
The like the
And
one scene in Hereditary that
yeah, yeah,
everybody we
yeah.
won't spoil it for our
No,
listeners or for Stephanie, but it takes place in a car.
it's in a car, and the person driving, there's some kind of accident, and the person driving like knows what happened, but then he goes, are you okay? And they're just like silence, and like that kind of thing just like really gets me. Like I think about that all the time. Like it
Now, is
really gets
it
me.
like his being at fault for the accident, or is it his like the delay of him processing it and asking, "Are you okay?"
I think
Or is
it's
it like the guilt that follows him?
yeah, it's like the guilt, but I think it's also like the cognitive dissonance of like him being like, "Are you okay?" But it's clearly like she's,
So
not
yeah, like
okay.
him not being
Yeah,
able
not
to
being able to
process it.
process, and that's just
Yeah.
like this haunting way that he says it. Like he delivers it so well, but so
He's
it's really
great.
yeah. So it's really more like the things that can actually happen that just it's more like
That's
haunted.
psychological horror,
Yeah, it's more
it
like
sounds
haunted
to me.
people. Haunted people scare me. I guess. Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I actually this is Emmanuel thinks that I would really like Hereditary, and I've like I listened to I don't know if you guys have ever listened to a different podcast. Shout out to Too Scary Didn't Watch, which is
Oh
like
yeah.
the best resource for someone like me who's too scared to watch scary movies. And then I listened to the entire episode on Too Scary Didn't Watch, and that's how I know if I'm like up for watching the movie, and then I'll watch it. So but I listened to the one on Hereditary. I have to say, like, you think it's going to be a psychological horror, and you think that it's going to be like all of these like unanswered questions like, oh, is there a ghost or are people just crazy? And like they really string you along the entire movie, and then the ending is like so
The ending
disappointing.
is such a letdown. That's the thing about that movie. That's the scariest thing of all. A disappointing ending. No, but no, it has a lot of features that make it really it really does like kind of get to you, at least for me. Like the person I was watching it with, and during this scene that I'm talking about, he started laughing. I'm like, that's psycho behavior, but okay. Yeah, like,
It's an inappropriate response
yeah, I was
to that
like,
scene.
yeah, I was like, I mean, I get that it's
Note
like
to self,
it's a little
watch
bit
this
out.
with
Yeah,
all future
yeah.
paramours and see what
I,
how they
I was like,
react.
I get
Yeah.
it. Like, I understand why he might think it's funny because it is like so off the wall in some ways, but I also don't. I'm like, that's not
I
funny.
don't I
Like,
don't
that's
think like a chuckle is appropriate. I feel like
no. It was like a full laughter. Like it was like a full.
Like a laugh out loud.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah. I was like,
I don't
oh,
think so.
okay, no, no. Um,
uh-uh.
um,
Yeah, I mean, that movie is widely, I think, accepted as one of the scariest movies of the last 10 years.
people said that a lot, and then I don't think it's the scariest. It definitely did really get, but I can't think of anything scary off the top of my head, so maybe it is. But it definitely really gets to you. But there's a lot of tropes in it that are a little bit cliche at the same time.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but it's very effective in the sense that it feels very real, and it also deals with like very human things like grief and like family problems and stuff like that. So it's
But also supernatural stuff. So, like, or I get, like, I didn't see it, but it seems like you don't know, like, whether the supernatural stuff is really supernatural or whether these people are just, like, having
yeah.
you know, a
Yeah.
psychological grief moment.
Yeah, I think
Which
that's
that is
accurate.
scary to me. Like someone like the idea of not knowing
Yeah.
what's going on, like the
That's what gets to
confusion
me. Yeah.
element,
The haunted
that's
people
very
get to
scary.
me.
Haunted people.
Yeah.
This is what I always say. And there's actually one horror property. It's not a movie, but the Mike Flanagan The Haunting of Hill House that was
Yeah.
on HBO. That or sorry, it was on Netflix.
So
I
good.
loved that. Like
Yeah.
I
So
thought that it was fantastic.
That
And that
got
was
to me,
about
too.
haunted people and it did really scare me, but I really loved it. And I was like,
Yeah.
this is and it breaks all my rules because it's fucking full of ghosts and like
Yeah.
some of these ghosts are like our problem and some of the ghosts are just there and it's like yeah
Well, there
maybe
was
sometimes
that.
a ghost has nothing to do with you and like that's also very
Yeah.
scary.
I think I had
Yeah.
to, honestly, I think I was not in the right place to watch that when I started watching it. So I haven't watched it all yet. But the scene with like a ghost hovering over this little girl like really got to me. And I was like, oh, I don't know how to do this right now. So I
That
had to
image
stop.
still really frightens me.
Yeah. But I know it's
I think
Yeah.
that like watching that kind of stuff as a parent too is like
I can imagine.
it's very hard to know like where to put it because like you know as a parent like also you have to always be the brave one and be like you know I'm not scared of monsters like I will check in your closet before bed and then like
Yeah. I have heard that if you go out and you say to the ghost, like, you leave this kid alone and don't bother this child, he or she is just trying to sleep. If it's a reasonable ghost, it'll go away. And
we
like,
hope
be
that it's a
nice.
reasonable ghost.
Yeah.
I've heard that too.
Yeah. But
Have you guys had any ghost experiences in real life?
not really. I kind of wish I have, but I haven't.
No, I think that's lucky.
Yeah.
I think I can only think of one that might have been, but I don't know. I've never seen a ghost or anything, but when I was living, I've never told anyone this, so y'all are the first to find out. But when I was living alone on Riverside Drive in Binghamton, I lived in the
Oh,
third floor apartment of a Victorian
that was a
home,
ghost.
and
Ghost
yeah,
trap.
I
Yeah.
never felt like there was like a ghost. Like I always felt like pretty safe and like I was like on my own. But there was one night that I was like it was late. I always have a hard time falling asleep, and so I'm like laying in the dark, whatever, and my bed just started like shaking, like back and forth. And I thought, like, we have gotten earthquakes in the area, so like I
Oh,
looked
that's true.
around, but nothing else was shaking. It was just my bed, and it was just going back and forth, like
Oh
literally. And then the
no.
more scared I got, like it got like strong, like it was
Oh
really going back and forth.
no.
And I think I don't know what I did. I think I said something like, I don't know what's happening, but I need whatever this is to just leave me alone. And I like totally just like hid under the covers and fell asleep. That was the only that's the only thing I can think of that might
Wow.
have been
That's
some sort of,
really
That's
spooky.
really
isn't it?
scary. Yeah,
I
that's really
That's
scary.
know.
really
It
spooky.
was really scary because I was also alone in the house and there were other people that
Mm,
lived in the house at the time, but I knew they were out of town.
mm.
Oh
And
shit.
yeah,
That's
That's
yeah.
really
like
scary.
that's super
And I was
spooky.
alone. Yeah, it was just very like creepy.
Was was our cat with you at the time? Okay.
It
'Cause
was after she passed away.
I was gonna say
Oh
she might have
no.
gotten to
Well, one
you.
time I was having a dream and I woke up thinking someone was sitting on my bed there, but then when I came to, I realized it was our cat, like sitting there. So I
Yeah.
could have been a ghost, but I just chalk it up to being the cat. I
Yeah.
don't
I mean,
No,
know.
I've
it
had
was
like
definitely the cat.
I've had
Cats
like different.
haunt your house
They do.
for sure.
They're definitely haunted. They
I
move
know,
your
I
socks.
woke up and I was like, am I
Yeah.
seeing a ghost? And then it was
Yeah.
her. And she was
Yeah.
like, get up. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, she'll
that
jump
cat
in.
is throwing your tissue box on the floor in the middle of the night. The cat is
Yes.
taking your socks and hiding them in the corner. Like it
That
is the
cat
cat.
was catching mice in the middle of the night and bringing them into bed to show me.
She did that.
She did that once. Don't you remember?
I know she
She
would catch mice. I didn't remember that she brought
she
it to your
brought it
bed.
into my bed.
Because she was proud. She was like, look what
Yeah,
I
and I felt
did.
something like
She put it on your face?
Yeah, because she was walking on me. I felt something like drag
No.
across my face, and I was like, what is happening? And she was meowing, but she sounded really weird. So I was like, is
Iris.
she
Oh
okay?
no.
And I turn on the light, I pick her up, and I'm looking at her like a baby, and she's got this mouse in her mouth. And I realized what had dragged across my face was the tail, which is scarier
No.
than when the bed
Yeah.
shook in the middle of the night.
Way
And I
scarier
was,
than a ghost.
I was screaming. I was like,
Oh
My
my
God, this is how
God.
people get hantavirus.
Yeah. Oh my
I
God.
washed my face so much. I locked her out of the bedroom. And then the next morning,
Poor baby.
I know, the next morning she was like really pissed off because I locked her out, I never found the carcass, but there was just like a kidney sitting in the middle of the floor.
Iris,
Your
no.
cat is Jack the Ripper.
Yeah, Iris
She was such
was.
a bitch. I love that cat
She
was
was like a little
amazing. I love
princess who also I used like as a child I would call her Xena Warrior Princess because she was a princess but also like would kill things.
fierce. She was
And
fierce,
she was
yeah.
tiny. She was a really small cat.
She was
And
She was
really,
small and
yeah.
she was so pretty.
she was very
Oh,
pretty.
so
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, that incident was scarier than any ghost I could have encountered.
I
I was
think
gonna
that what we
say, yeah.
have learned is that living with a cat is the real
Same as a
horror
ghost.
story.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Though I will say that like I think like 2 days after Iris died, she was living with me at the end and she a mouse moved in to my living room and I was like,
Oh,
fuck you, mouse. You know that my cat just died and now you can come in here.
that mouse was
And,
taunting you.
That's
yeah.
like that adds like salt to the
I
wound. Oh
know.
my
I was so
God.
mad. I was upset. And you like I heard little things and I'm like, oh, it's a ghost. And I'm like, oh no, it's a mouse, but I think that's worse. So yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, yeah. But
That's wild. I
so we
wish I
should
had like cool ghost stories like that. I just have like this is something that like I don't think is like a haunted thing because I don't think my house is haunted, but like a weird thing when we demolished our attic, we like took it down to the studs, we took the walls out and behind the wall in the attic was this like portrait of this
I love this.
like
Oh my God.
mid 50s mustachioed white dude. It looked like from maybe like the 30s or 40s. And I was
I
like,
love this. It was in the
somebody
walls.
put
Oh
that
my God.
behind the wall and then like put wallboard and like walled it up in there.
I
I
Somebody
need to know what the
love
story is
that. Someone
there.
did a spell. That someone did a spell and placed it back there. Yeah. Oh my God.
absolutely. Yeah. And
I
it wasn't
love
like
that.
labeled or anything. Like there's no
You
like,
still have it.
oh, of course, because I was
Yeah.
scared to get rid of it because I was like, what if it is a ghost picture? So it's in the basement, but like
Okay.
in a nice, safe place where like if this
I
picture does
love that.
contain his soul, he's safe. He's in the basement where he's not going to bother anybody.
I just like my dream is just like finding stuff in walls.
No, you don't want to find things in walls.
What
There
do
was
you
like a
want to
lot of
find?
stuff in
love
this
it.
wall.
Like, did you? There's a story. Oh gosh, I think that they were demolishing, like when they were demolishing some department store in like Ohio recently. It was probably a couple years ago. It wasn't recently, but like they just found these things. Like they found a purse with someone's ID in it, and they returned it to that person. Like it was from the 70s, and
It was
like
in a
What?
store, you said?
like in the walls, like that she just dropped it somewhere, and then it like ended up like in like underneath something. I guess at one point the department store like they used to sell pets, and so they had a monkey that was like their mascot,
Oh no. Is this
and
going to
they
be
found
like
the
a
monkey.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
They found a monkey carcass.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh no.
Because like the monkey just got lost somewhere. And,
What
Yeah.
pet store or department store is selling exotic pets?
That used to happen a lot.
I don't know. The 20th century
yeah.
was weird, man. It was
Yeah.
like,
The Midwest is weird.
You ever seen the movie? It's one of my favorite movies. After actually, it's called Love with the Proper Stranger.
No.
It has Natalie Wood and Steve McQueen, and she works in the pet department of a department store.
Do they have monkeys?
I don't remember. I remember a lot of birds, but I don't remember. Yeah.
This is wild. We got to get back on top.
Yeah. Okay. We got to talk about our favorite movies.
We have to talk about our favorite
Yeah.
scary movies.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start with Gretchen. What's your favorite scary movie?
Okay. So I think the one I keep going back to in my head is The Witch by Robert Eggers. Definitely
Yes.
up there for me. It's very scary without doing a whole lot, which I really love. And it's, I think, even just like from the first scene and all the like very dreary New England, whatever, I don't know where they filmed it, but it's supposed to be like New England, natural light, whatever, is spooky. Like everything about it's kind of spooky. So it's, I really like that one. Um, One of my, I don't know if this is really classified as horror. I think it is because a lot of people die, but I don't know. But there's this movie called The Love Witch, which I
Oh,
is
Oh, I love the
this is like
Love
a witch
Witch.
theme.
there is a witch theme. There's two witch movies. Wow.
Yeah,
The
I
Love
love
Witch
the
is
Love Witch
fun.
because the vibes are like so on point.
Yeah, and it's also very funny, and it's also like kind of
What
a
is the
weird
love?
world.
Okay, so like, tell me more. Is I have
Yeah.
not, I'm not familiar. Is it what
Okay.
year was it made?
So it was made probably, I'm guessing like 2017,
Okay.
2015.
Sounds about right, yeah.
Yeah, and
Any notable cast?
it's actually an indie movie that was done by a woman. Her, I know her first name is Anna. I cannot recall her last name, but Hetzel, maybe Hertzel, but she, it's very indie. So no notable cast. I will say, I think the lead woman, I think her name is Samantha Robinson. I do think she was in,
That sounds familiar.
yeah, I think she was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, maybe. I think she was very lauded for this performance, like in the New York Times and stuff. But it's set in the 60s, like late 60s. It's filmed like it was filmed in the 60s. Like everything about it is very 60s. The pacing is so like, the sound of like, so it really, you feel like you're there. There's only a couple moments where like someone pulls out a cell phone and you're it's, it's a little bit more modern, but basically it's about a woman, running from a former marriage pretty much, and it takes place on the California coast, and she's a witch, and so she's trying to conjure or find some man who can, match her level of devotion or love or whatever, and in the process a lot of people die while she's doing this, and so it's actually really funny too. It has a really good joke about tampons that I found hilarious. Do you remember this one, Stephanie?
No,
Okay.
I
I don't
haven't
know.
seen it for a while.
I don't know
Yeah.
if I should say it, but
I love that. Okay, I'm looking
yeah.
at it now. This is The Love Witch. It was released in 2016. The writer director is Anna Billier.
Okay. Yeah.
And it stars, yeah, Samantha Robinson, Guyan Keys, and Laura Waddell.
Oh yeah, that was probably the friend. Yeah.
I am not familiar with any of these actors, but that it
No,
sounds
it's
like
very
something
indie. Yeah, I think
sounds
you'd
like
like
something
it.
that I would like
I
actually.
think you would actually really like it. It's not a lot of gore. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, I don't feel like it's scary, scary, but like the vibes, like it's so everything looks so like 60s and
Yeah.
like
I'm not
it's
like.
like the colors, like it's very it's some like I want to play it sometimes in the background when I'm like working or like
Yeah.
because you don't
I,
need to pay that close
yeah, and
attention.
I'm not 100% sure I would call it horror. I don't know, but it
But it's
kind
like
of,
about a witch, people
yeah.
die, like it,
Yeah. So, but I do think it's also
getting out of a
kind of
bad relationship,
funny.
that's
Yeah.
spooky.
Yeah. I think that was
Yeah,
also, part of
that's always
the,
a horror show. Yeah.
that in itself is a horror.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, aside from that, I know that like I had a couple scary movies that were kind of, well, I do love the XXX series.
Oh, yes, the
Yeah,
Ty
yeah.
West movies,
Ty
like
West, yeah, yeah.
Pearl and
Pearl and Maxine, and
Maxine, yeah.
yeah, I really enjoy those actually too. But
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
think
saw Maxine. I
that's
like
like
that. Yeah.
slasher maybe, but I
I
think it
guess it's
falls
kind of
under horror.
slasher, yeah. And I
Yeah.
I
also
think
just
they
look,
called
yeah.
them the Ty West horror trilogy,
Okay,
so
okay, yeah. And I think Scream was just a really formative one in
Love
some
Scream.
ways. And I
Gretchen,
know
this
you,
is 4 movies.
sorry. And well, I was gonna say, just as a
Well,
kid,
they're all in
I'm
different
afraid.
genres. I get
yeah,
it. You
I'm
can't just
afraid you're
pick
gonna
one.
get to my movie and I'm gonna be like,
sorry. No, I just like I will say I'll stop there. And maybe you'll say one in the future, but there were a couple that I saw like on TBS, like the really, edited versions of them, and they had a impact,
I
So,
want to know more because you listed The Witch first as like your favorite. So I want to know like specifically about like the horror element of it.
yeah.
Was it like the production? Was it, he has like a lot of like he insists on a lot of verisimilitude, like, he shot it I think with all natural light in the actual location with like actual historically accurate
Yeah.
like props and costumes. Like, does
yes, I
that
love that
stuff
one too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really loved it, yeah.
I think
Does that make it scarier?
it does for me, I think. Because it does feel so real, and it's also something you feel like, because it's kind of so like tactile in that way, and feels very like you can kind of slip into it because of all of the natural light and stuff. It feels very accessible, but then there's also a real starkness to that era and the way that people were living and stuff. And I think
We're talking about The Witch, right?
The
Yeah.
Witch, yeah,
Sorry, yeah. Okay.
yeah. So I think, and the funny thing about that movie is I feel like there's not one like means of scaring you. There are many, and it comes from different places. Like, there's a child that disappears suddenly and you don't know why or how. And then there's people kind of going nuts, and then, and, not being, and then there's a lot of visual scare. Like there's one scene with a crow that like really jump scared.
God.
Yeah, I got really scared from that.
It's
So
just like
yeah,
gross.
gross too. So it's kind of keeps you on your toes that way, and also just the sense that this girl who's the main character is so at the mercy of everyone, kind of around her, and she is totally, throughout the movie, she kind of her family slowly turns on her, but she did nothing wrong. And so it's kind of like there's that horror, there's, the plain magic kind of horror. And so I think it's really, in that way, it's hard to predict, or it was when I watched it the first time.
Definitely.
And
Yeah.
it has, yeah,
It
I
kind
didn't know
of
what was happening the first
yeah,
time. I might have watched it with you, Gretchen.
yeah. And I just love
Um,
movies that kind of have that sort of space. And we might watch it together, that have that kind of space for you to fill in your own fears. And the quietness, the quietness, just like when you give that space to people to start to, there's a suspense, of course, but like where you can start to anticipate things that might happen naturally. Everyone knows what, that kind of way of doing things. But yeah, I just sort of loved that, the whole mood as well. So yeah, there was a lot I loved about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that one too. And I think it's kind of like the opposite for me of Hereditary, where like, you know, the whole thing kind of hinges on this like you don't know whether there is a supernatural evil or not, but you know that like people are doing evil things to each other and that like bad things are happening. And then in the end, spoilers for The Witch, it turns out there is a supernatural evil, but it is not disappointing because they justified it all the way throughout the movie and they like
yeah.
motivated it and they made it make sense. And
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
so like when you get to like the reveal of the like, you know, talking goat or
Yeah. Do
whatever,
you want
you're
to live
like,
deliciously? Do you want to have butter? And you're like, dang, people didn't have butter back then. Wow,
which
that's the
like
Yeah.
scariest thing of all.
I
I
think
just want
that
to
time
push back on that
period.
because she could fully have had butter. Like it's not difficult.
Well, she couldn't go to town anymore because her dad was too religious, right?
But
He
like
basically,
they were gonna need to get milk eventually or they were going to
yeah,
die. So like
yeah,
someone could have made some butter happen.
yeah, yeah. They could have got a cow somehow, but that's the other thing is they were stuck in the middle of the wilderness, unable to go back to town because her dad was so like such a heretic, or not heretic, the opposite of heretic. The
Like a zealot.
zealot. Yeah, such a zealot. So
Well,
like
I think that time period is just like very
it's
spooky in
so
general.
scary.
Like
Yeah,
like
yeah.
he was like we're talking Puritans, we're
Hmm.
talking the Salem witch trials, which like were a carryover from witch trials in England. Like I don't know, like we were massacring like Native Americans. Like I just think the whole people didn't know how to farm or like live off the land. The whole thing is so scary and spooky.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think it's a
yeah.
coincidence that Hocus Pocus, that story originates in colonial America and, it carried into like the present day of the time, but
I think that
I don't think it's
generally, yeah.
any coincidence that that like adds to the mystique kind of the movie and the story and everything. It's
Hmm.
scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being isolated, not having like a familiar like setting or like
Hmm.
having community that like is in a desperate situation and they all start to turn on each other like
Yeah.
that
And
is really
you
scary.
literally don't know what you're going to find around the corner because you're not familiar
Yeah.
with it. You could
Yeah,
find
like you
any kind of
truly
And
don't
this is
know.
all
animal.
in the name of your
Yeah.
religion. Like you're there because you want religious freedom, and
Hmm.
yet everything around the corner is a surprise and
And
potentially
it's like
dangerous.
a goat and it's trying to kill you because it's the devil and it's
And there's
like,
no butter, which is just
Yeah, which
terrifying.
oh my
is the
God, there's just
worst.
no butter.
Where's the
Guys,
butter, you
it's so
guys?
scary.
So scary. Okay, so who's next? Who wants to talk about their favorite movie? Scary movie.
Steph, what is your favorite scary movie?
We're all gonna be
Okay.
Drew Barrymore tonight in Scream.
What?
We're all being Drew Barrymore tonight in Scream. That guy
Oh,
calls her and
yeah.
like, "What's your favorite scary movie?"
So um, unlike Gretchen, I decided to focus on one, because I have many. Like an honorable mention would be Last Night in Soho. Really like another one with
Mm,
Anya
hmm.
Anya Taylor
Taylor
Joy.
Yeah,
Joy,
she's
who
in a
was
lot of
in The
good horror.
Witch.
Yeah.
And I think The Witch was the first place I saw her, and then Last Night in Soho was also great. Of course, I love What We Do in the Shadows, but the one I picked for our conversation tonight was Midsummer.
Mm.
So I know that that's kind of I don't know if it's controversial, but it's a newer one. It's from 2019. And the director, I know that he originally, like in his mind, he was developing it as like a breakup movie and also as kind of like a macabre fairy tale because it does have all the components of a fairy tale, I guess. But it really is a horror movie and there is a breakup in it and there's spoiler, there's the death of the main character's family, which isn't too much of a spoiler. It happens like first thing in the movie.
It's very
Um,
upsetting.
yeah,
That's
it's
so
very
upsetting.
upsetting.
Yeah, I think about that a lot. Yeah.
I do too. I think about it more than I should. Um, but I mean, it really sets up like the entire movie like calls back to that scene too. I feel like with like the breathing and yeah. But anyway, I it's 3 hours long. It's longer than
Is
your
it
typical
really?
horror
Wow, I
movie. Yeah,
forgot
it's
how long it
very
was.
long.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I
it's
would not
very
have
what?
Yeah.
clocked that. I
Me
watched
neither.
this movie actually kind of recently and
Hmm.
it didn't seem that long. It
Yeah.
really,
It really
I'm
has.
pretty
It's
sure
very
it's
well
3 hours
paced.
long.
It's very
Yeah.
well paced. Yeah.
I mean, I'm
Yeah.
not surprised, but like
Yeah.
it doesn't feel like a slog to me.
Hmm.
No, no, it doesn't. And it's really suspenseful too because it's just suspenseful. Like it's great in that way. I really like suspense, so that checked a box for me. And I find it to be just really interesting because there's so many things happen in it that are ultimately like pretty relatable, I think, like the breakup component, like the grief around losing loved ones and the grief around the breakup, and yet and that they're walking in, like you can tell, by foreshadowing, by the vibes, whatever, they're walking into this like kind of dangerous cult situation in Sweden. However, it's literally the middle of summer and it's beautiful and there are
Yeah.
flowers and like
And it's light the whole
visually,
time. It's not
yes, it's
night at
light
all.
the
Which
whole
is crazy.
time.
Yeah, which is
Yeah.
so bizarre and interesting for a horror movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I I think that's I'm calling that my favorite right now because I've never seen another movie either in the horror genre or anywhere else like kind of address grief in like such a raw, like intense way. And I felt like I feel like that's kind of our time and it's scary. Like grief is very scary, and I'm not used to seeing that in movies. Again, I like psychological horror. So this falls again in like psychological. I think it's also indie. It's horror or
It
something.
was an A24 movie, but it was before A24 was like really huge. So yeah, I would
Mm-hmm.
qualify it as indie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Um and then the fact that yeah, where am I going with this? It is like a macabre fairy tale. And as you're watching it, you're like, what am I watching? Like at first I wasn't quite sure. I'm like, is this a macabre fairy tale? Is there going to be like a really happy ending? Like I really wasn't sure if it was going to be like a good
Now,
ending or a bad ending.
do we think it did have a happy ending? Because the ending of this
Mm-hmm.
movie is like one of the more ambiguous endings I think that there is
Yeah.
in a horror movie or in a breakup movie.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
And I mean,
And
this
that
has
is, I just
been,
want to note too, Florence Pugh is a treasure, and
Oh
oh
my
she
my
is
God.
God,
why, and like that ending,
genius.
it really
She's
works
so
because
good
of
in it.
her.
So good.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
good. Yeah.
yeah.
It works because of her. I mean, she's just
Hmm.
incredible. And I will say, like, when I first saw it, so can I spoil the ending? We've all seen
Yes,
it.
yes.
Hmm.
Yeah, so when she sends her ex-boyfriend to be the final sacrifice, and he gets put in a bear skin and burned alive, right? Um it's like
Very, very spooky.
I was like I was like this is like so intense and I'm thinking as I was watching it, I was thinking like in a weird way, like this could be some people's like sick fantasy, of their breakup, like what they're gonna do to their ex or whatever. But she's sobbing, she's just like the grief is just pouring out of her and at the end, right? And then she relaxes and smiles. And to me, I really just saw that as a pure like emotional release and then her just feeling better because she cried and released her whatever she was carrying. I'm not saying she's didn't cry more afterwards.
Who knows what happened after? Like, what
Who
is the
knows what
next
happened
day like?
afterwards?
Yeah.
But I
They're like,
felt
okay, we're gonna
like
clean up now. Like, I don't know.
Okay, see you in
right.
another 15 years.
Well,
Yeah.
she's the May Queen, so she doesn't have to clean up. But but my feeling was just like as she watched everything burn and she's crying and releasing her emotions, I felt like it was a very cathartic, like healing moment. I know that that's not the interpretation that a lot of people have. Maybe I was projecting a bit,
I don't know. I
but
think that's very valid.
Yeah. Hmm.
like I felt like she was grieving her family, she's grieving the loss of her partner and him betraying her and all this stuff and I felt like that final like smile and it's just so visually it's the juxtaposition of the sobbing but like the beautiful flowers, her beautiful costume. It's almost like an allegory for life, in a weird way. Like we've all been there, and so yeah, that's why I picked Midsummer.
Yeah. It's a good one.
I
Am
love
I
it. It's a
making
great
sense? I
one.
feel like I'm
Yeah.
just rambling now,
No, it's a
but
really
No,
scary one. I mean,
it's scary. Oh,
yeah,
it's so scary.
that first
And
scene when they kind of do the first tradition of the cult where the oldest people kind of sacrifice themselves. That
yes,
was
I was
like,
like, what am I
what? And
watching?
it, yeah, and it
this is
felt,
like,
yeah.
no, guys, that's a real thing that Nordic people like used to do
Oh.
back in the day, not like recently,
I think
but
Japanese
like
people did that too, like back in the day. Yeah.
yeah, like during like Viking times, so maybe from like the 6th to 10th centuries, when the population was like more than like their harvest could bear. It was called the Attestup, and the older people would
Interesting.
volunteer because their lives, they had already had their lives or whatever. They would volunteer to defenestrate themselves,
Wow.
and it was like a nice thing that they did to please the gods. And
Oh my
so
goodness.
there's a little
Yeah.
Nordic history for you.
Yeah.
Oh my
I think
goodness.
that is
Yeah.
also, I recently heard something, was listening to something about that was prominent in Japanese culture, and they said that there were times when the oldest members would, unburden the family and kind of like go into the woods, basically, and not come out. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think that's like when you think about it that way, it's like kind of noble. They don't want to be a burden, like, but also is very sad.
It's really sad and really
Yeah, and
scary. Yeah.
also, I mean,
But
I
it
understand
does
it's
it.
like a resource issue, but it's like someone do something to fix that. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
This
Yeah, like
doesn't
I
have to
agree
happen.
that like you don't have to continue this tradition into the 21st century, like just to
No.
do that. But
No.
it also brings up the idea of like letting go what is no longer necessary and like having to grieve things that you really liked but are no longer serving you, like a bad relationship for Florence Pugh.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, and in Midsummer, that's one of the things going on is she's in this toxic relationship, and eventually it ends, and she's able to see it end in a really kind of spectacular way, but then also grieve it really deeply. And I think that movie became so, I don't know if I'd call it, I guess it's popular. I don't know if like
Yeah.
I think
everyone
it,
loves it, like, but a
yeah.
lot of people saw it. I think it's considered one of the, horror movies of our time. And I think that's part of the reason why, because people can relate to so many things that happen in it, even if they're not in a cult or recovering from being in a cult or whatever.
Yeah.
There's some very human themes in it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a great one.
Yeah.
Well, to go to the
Very great.
completely opposite side of the
Yeah. We need to hear
spectrum,
Rachel's. Yeah.
of course, well, I thought about this a lot, and like I have seen a lot of horror movies that I do really love. I love the Scream movies. I love the I Know What You Did Last Summer movies, but I don't revisit them as often as my number one pick, which is the only horror movie that I repeatedly put on pretty much every year during Halloween, and that movie is Idle Hands.
Oh, I haven't seen
Idle
this.
Hands. I haven't seen that
Oh my
either.
god.
This
Idle
is a
Hands.
Idle Hands is a fantastic horror comedy from
Okay.
1999,
Oh, I've
and
never heard of it. Wow.
it
Yeah, I've never heard of it
is
either. What's happening?
it's scary and it's funny. It stars Devon Sawa and Jessica Alba, and it's like a kooky high school horror movie about this guy and he's Devon Sawa and his hand is possessed by a demon.
Oh my god, I
And
love this. Oh my god.
I'm looking this
Oh my
up
God.
right now, and I'm like,
which
what?
like the metaphor is like just absolutely incredible. And he's this teenage guy and he just like absolutely cannot control his hand, and his hand wants to kill people. And
God.
so
I love this.
I need to
inadvertently,
watch this.
he kills his family and his two best friends, but it's not sad. It's his two best friends come back as zombies somehow because there's
Oh.
like probably an amulet or something, and
There's always an
like
amulet of some
there's
kind.
always an amulet, right?
Yeah.
So like his two best friends come back as like these like funny zombies, and it's all about like, do you want to be one of the zombies, like your idiot friends, or like do you want to go to prom with Jessica Alba? And like the whole thing is
question.
just it's relatable, and it kind of like speaks to that kind of horror like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, where like the metaphor is about high school and about like
Yeah.
coming of age stuff and about like growing up, but it's zany. The physical comedy with like Devon Sawa and not being able to control his hand is
Devon
so
Sawa,
good.
he I think was underrated as a
Completely
yeah,
underrated.
yeah,
Yeah, I think the child star syndrome kind of got him,
yeah,
but
yeah.
he was
Yeah, I think
talented. Is
that
talented.
I don't think
Probably.
that his hairline
Yes.
totally like served him into his later career.
Oh.
So I think that
There are things that can be done about that,
well
though.
Yeah,
now
look
there
at
are,
Jerry B.
but
Piven. Yeah.
look at Jeremy Piven. He could have had like a Jeremy Piven-esque career, I guess. Like it just I feel like
Look
he
at
wasn't
Elon Musk. Have you seen
They
old
all got their
pictures of him
hair. Yeah,
from
they all got their hair
PayPal
done.
era? Like,
Hmm.
that man has had his hair dealt with multiple times.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure Devon Sawa wishes that he made as much as Elon Musk. But
Yeah.
probably we
Probably
could get
could.
him on Cameo to
Yeah.
do us some sort of like idle hands
I
something for
love
this
it.
Yes,
podcast.
we should do a
Yeah.
watch
Yeah.
party. I want to watch
And
this.
wasn't Devon Sawa also Casper?
Yes, I love
Yes.
Casper.
And he was in all the Final Destination, so he's like kind of a scream queen, if you will.
He
But
was a
Yeah.
yeah,
scream queen.
yeah,
Absolutely he
Scream
was.
Queen.
yeah. I gotta watch this Idle Hands movie.
It's
I gotta watch
so
this too. I've
good.
never
It's
heard
so
of
funny.
this.
It's a little scary. There's scary parts of it, like but not like too scary. And the other side of the coin from that, which I also really love, is The Faculty, which
Oh
is
my
like
God.
another
That's a good one.
high school horror movie.
I
And I don't know
haven't
if it
seen that in
like
forever, but I
oh my
remember really
God.
liking that.
It's
Yeah.
such a treat. And I don't know if this like totally qualifies as horror because it like kind of also is science fiction, but it is really scary and
Yeah.
it kind of has that like I don't know what genre of horror this is, but where you like start out with like a big group of people and then they start like disappearing one by one, kind
Yeah.
of like in Midsummer.
Yeah.
Yeah, is there a name for that?
There
There's
probably
gotta
is.
be. Yeah. I
Pick
so
them off.
I will
Yeah,
say
getting picked off.
I haven't seen all of The Faculty because this was actually a very formative moment for me.
Oh, is this about Josh Hartnett?
Yes. So I
Okay.
was in love with Josh Hartnett. Like in
I
love.
remember.
And so I went to Video King and rented myself The Faculty. Like, asked my mom. I went up to my mom's room. She had a tape player. I decided I was going to watch it by myself because no one else would want to watch it. Like, the first scene, I was like, oh, this is too scary. And I had to turn it off. I don't remember. There was, like, someone, like, maybe an older woman or someone, like, naked in a shower or something. I don't remember. But she was, like, reaching towards them. And I was like, oh, no, no, no. And I was, like, 15, like, 12 or 13. And so I haven't watched it. I've never watched the whole thing, so...
It's very,
That should be for
very
part
scary.
of our
Yeah.
watch party.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay,
and it's
yeah.
one of those ones too where like you think the villain is going to be one person and then it turns out that it's somebody else and
Yeah.
it like I feel like was one of the first movies that I saw anyway to do that, to be like here's like a group of people and then the actual villain is somebody that like you would never expect.
Wow. Okay.
And so that's kind of fun. Other honorable mentions, Urban Legends. I don't know if you guys have seen Urban
I've
Legends
never seen
recently
Urban
or at
Legends.
all.
Yeah, I've never
It's
seen it.
Haven't.
oh my God, what a treat. Just like it like is like the next step up because it's like a horror movie on a college campus.
Oh.
So
Oh, okay.
Okay.
and I get it doesn't really there's like one urban legend I guess like mentioned in this movie,
Interesting.
but it's really funny. Tara Reid is there and
Yes.
it's another one of those ones, kind of like in the vein of Scream, where like there's a killer on the loose and everyone's like, ah, there's a killer on the loose,
Yeah.
and then they start dying one by one.
Okay. Yeah, I do love Scream. I didn't watch it till much later. Like, it was like a big thing when I was like 8.
We were a little too young when it
yeah.
first came out,
Yeah.
the first one.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever like seen
Yeah,
it
I
all
think I
the way
watched it like
through.
2 years ago, to be honest.
Yeah,
the
we
first
were
time.
just like too young, I feel
Yeah.
like.
Yeah. And I think,
But some
other
people
one-
our age like had older siblings that like
Yeah.
showed it to them.
and
I definitely
everyone
watched
was
it at a slumber party.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I-
got the VHS probably from somebody's older sibling and watched
Yeah.
it at a slumber party.
I Yeah, I know Ghostface was a big Halloween costume for a while. And then the other one of that time that I remember very fondly, which I didn't watch until like 2 years ago as well, is The Craft. I don't know if that's technically a horror movie, but
I think it is. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
I love the
Because teenage
craft.
Another
girls
Yeah,
are terrifying.
yeah.
yeah.
Teenage Girl is
God.
scariest.
But
I
I love that
finally watched The
movie.
Craft during COVID. During lockdown. I took it upon myself to
Yeah,
watch
I think
some
I did
movies
that
I had
too.
never
Yeah,
seen,
I
yeah.
like
can't
The
believe that you
Godfather.
guys did not watch this movie until you were adults. I
I
feel like
know,
it was
because you were
so.
upset. And you were like
I was
obsessed with
obsessed
it.
with it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you were
you
obsessed with
were.
it.
Yeah.
And I think my mom like wouldn't let us watch it or something. And
Oh my
so,
God.
because
Was
she
she
was
like
like,
afraid of witchcraft?
no, she's always just been
No.
like a little bit like overly sensitive about certain movies. It doesn't make any sense. Like,
Interesting.
Yeah,
she's
like
not like,
witchcraft didn't bother her at
no,
all.
she like bought us
I
like books
felt
on
like
druids and stuff. Like, she didn't
yeah,
care. But like, yeah,
I felt like she sensed it was like
a little
teenagers, and
teenagery. Yeah, yeah.
I
Oh,
think
or
she was
maybe like there's
worried
a lot of like
we'd like
bullying stuff in there.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think like she was worried we'd become really crazy teenagers because I think
She was
maybe she
always like,
was.
yeah, yeah.
And then the effect was that we were not crazy teenagers, but then I mean, I went a little more crazy in my 20s. I feel like it's just a phase one must go through, but
Yeah. Yeah.
You
um
have to do it at some point.
yeah, get it out of your system. I'm a big fan of just getting things out of your system if you feel
Yeah.
compelled to do something. Just get it out. Just, yeah.
So, Rachel, were you someone from the craft for Halloween when we were younger?
I probably
I feel
was.
like I remember this.
Was
Yeah.
yeah, like was I wearing like a they go to a
Like
Catholic
a
school, so was I wearing
vest
like
or
a
like the little
kilt?
shirt, the little skirt. I don't
I
remember,
was
but I
probably
think,
yeah, was it like a kilt
yeah,
and a black sweater? I remember this.
probably. Yeah. Yeah.
Was I
I don't
Fazula Bank?
remember.
Yeah. I remember you being really into it and I being like a little scared about it. I was like, Rachel's so cool and I can't watch The Craft. Like, yeah.
Oh my God. I
I'm
was
not allowed to watch The
like
Craft.
obsessed with like the Ouija board. There was like a lot of like
I
Ouija board
remember.
at
Yeah.
that time.
Yeah.
Very,
I remember
very
doing
craft
light as
coded.
a feather, stiff as a board at your house.
That's from the
Yes.
craft.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't remember this. Was I there?
You must have
Don't
been.
I don't think you were at that
I
particular
do
one.
remember like doing
Yeah.
light as a feather, stiff as a board, but I never effed with Ouija boards.
You
And I'm
shouldn't.
glad
I
I
feel like
didn't.
it's
It's not something you want to mess with.
I don't really
no.
believe in Ouija boards. I think that
I
like
don't either,
yeah.
but my mom like fully did, and she was like, "Don't
Oh.
fuck with that Ouija board
Maggie's mom too.
because
She was like, "Do not get a Ouija board. Don't fuck with a Ouija board." Blah blah
Interesting.
blah. Yeah,
yeah, she
like
talks about the tramp souls. She's like, you don't want to have anything to do with the tramp souls, and I was like, I don't know what that means,
You're
but
like, got it, mom. Will do.
sure, tramp
yeah. I
souls,
mean,
got
I've
it.
listened to some podcasts where they talk about, they tell ghost stories or whatever that are supposedly real, and people that mess with Ouija boards, like especially if they don't like close the board, like
Yeah. I just don't believe it. I feel like someone invented this to be like to sell stuff during the spiritualist movement.
well,
absolutely.
apparently Ouija, that's branding. They're technically talking boards. So if you have a talking board that's not the Ouija brand, like it's still the same type of board. It's just like the Ouija thing is the
It's the
branding.
brand. Yeah. Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
I don't think it was invented until like the spiritualist movement. I could be wrong.
I mean,
That's what I thought.
who's to say
think
that those
that's when it
spiritualists
got-
didn't know what they were talking about entirely?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I know that,
No,
but like a
there
lot
are
of
they're
them
upstate
were
queens.
hucksters.
Yeah, they're upstate
Oh,
New York queens.
absolutely.
Yeah, we love them.
Actually, in Binghamton, the Spiritualist Society like headquarters or whatever is right on Riverside Drive.
I didn't know that.
I mean, it's a house now and like a person
Yeah.
lives in it, but it was.
Oh,
That's
I did not
cool.
know that. Yeah.
But so that person that bought the house told me a story once that like during their renovation, they were like doing something, and they were renovating the like cupboard under the stairs, and under the stairs they found a man's shoe and a woman's shoe and like all of these things that like they would use during the seances to make noise like there was a ghost. They would take like the shoe and they would like walk them on the bottom of the stairs to make it sound like there were ghosts
And
walking
they
up and down the
just
stairs.
left the shoes there.
Well, you can't take them out. People might catch you taking them out.
I don't
Yeah, you
know.
can when you move out of the house.
That's true. Who
They
knows?
forgot
They
about
probably
him.
forgot.
Yeah. That's so funny. Oh
Oh my
gosh.
god.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't mess with Ouija boards. When I moved,
No.
when I bought the house that I have now, there was a Ouija board in the attic.
Oh, I know. It's still up there because Stephanie
No,
was like,
it's not.
you
I
got rid of
threw it
it?
away. No.
Oh,
I
you
feel like
told
you
me
have to
we-
be careful about
yeah,
how you
told me
dispose of
can't
those
do that.
things.
You said I couldn't do that.
No, I did
think it's-
something. I don't know what I
I
did.
think
I'm
it's
pretty
still
sure.
there. Because you were like, no, we can't touch it. You were like, we can't touch it. I
Guys,
remember this.
we need to get to the bottom of this and we need to report back.
Yes. I will go up there and look.
We'll
I'll go
report
up there
back.
and look.
I thought that I just got pissed off one day and threw everything
Maybe
out.
you did. Maybe you did. I don't know. But
We
I know
can
at one
check.
point. I know at one point you were like, we can't touch this.
Maybe that's why you keep hearing your name whispered around the house.
Yeah.
They're like,
It's
Stephanie,
fine. You took
the
Ouija
spirit board.
So guys,
Mad at me.
but
This was great.
This was
These
great.
Yeah,
were
this was fun.
yeah.
great horror movies. I learned something new. I'm gonna watch The Love Witch. I'm so
I'm
excited.
gonna watch I'm gonna watch Idle Hands. That sounds
Please,
great.
everyone, watch Idle
Idle
Hands. It's
Hands.
so
We
much
gotta have a
fun.
watch party. Oh my god.
I would
Yeah.
love to.
I would love that too.
I need to watch Midsummer again. I
I
need
gotta watch
to
The Faculty.
watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to watch the
Yes.
fact. There's so many I want to revisit. I want to watch The Witch again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's long
So
too.
good.
Yeah.
And
I know,
it's
I haven't seen Last Night in Soho yet. I've been really wanting to, so I really want
It's
to see it.
really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
It's
I-
really good.
I really liked the vibe. I
Yes.
expected to really maybe like it more than I actually liked it because I was like, the cast is great, the vibe is great, it's beautiful, it's Edgar Wright, which I was like, this is a fun thing for us.
Yeah.
But then another one where I was like kind of disappointed by the ending. But
No.
I think they flew too close to the sun in just terms of like, did we have the effects budget that we thought that we had?
Yeah. Sometimes
Yeah,
that really
but
messes things
I
up.
would say the first 20 or so minutes are like really fun, really visually
Really riveting.
great. Like, yeah.
Yeah,
I
most
was
of it
I was
is.
okay. The ending was a little anticlimactic, but I wasn't like super disappointed. I wasn't
I just-
super it was just kind of like meh, but it wasn't bad.
No, it wasn't.
That
It
makes
was
sense.
classically Edgar Wright. Like we know he has a little bit of trouble landing the plane sometimes, and I feel like this was not. He didn't like break out of that in any way, and also like the effects budget could have been beefed up. But you had to pay for Anya Taylor-Joy, and you had to pay for all of those like 1960s costumes, so I
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that set. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
the whole
excited to see
thing,
it.
the set is cool. The way that they filmed it is cool. So like
The
I
set
do
is
recommend
really
it.
cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch. I remember it being in the theaters at one point, and I was like, I'm gonna go see it, and then I just didn't go for some reason. So
Like,
I
you
really,
out
I
during
watched it on
COVID.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
I think it came out during COVID. It might have been one of the
Interesting.
first movies I watched. Not like the first I watched with Pratik, but like I remember watching it with him kind of early on, and we were both like, "Oh, this is good." He doesn't usually like horror, so I was happy that he was into
Yeah,
that one.
that's a light one. I feel like it's
Yeah,
yeah.
it's not like there's no gore, and it's more psychological, but it's not too deep or like heavy
Yeah.
either.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna
Cool.
watch it. Yay! Lots of good movies coming, and then
Yeah.
we'll talk about things that
Yes.
have come back from the dead next week. So
Yes, join us next time to talk about things that have come back from the dead,
Not just
aka
things, trends.
trends that we want to send back to the grave.
Trends
have
that we
any
want to
thoughts
send
on
back to
that?
the grave. What about
Yeah.
trends that we want to resurrect?
Ooh, we could do that too.
Yeah. So if you guys have any thoughts on that, please let us know. Maybe
Yeah.
we can
And-
talk
Yeah,
about
because there are some
certain-
trends now that are being resurrected that I don't hate, and there are some that I do hate.
Yeah.
So
Yes. So join us next week for a fashion seance. And
Ouija
thank
board.
you for being here.
Yeah. Thank you. Happy spooky season.
Happy
Spooky
spooky season. We'll see you next time.